What is grime? Who can explain me that?
This is our homegrown sound, you understand? So this is our invention, you know what I mean? And this is what the kids feel in like, this is what they care about in the UK. This is the UK street sound.
There was no record companies, there was no management, there was nothing. Just young black boys in the hood, nothing to do.
It's like a culture, it's like a way of living.
The way you talk, the slang you use, the way you move to girls, you know, chicken and chips, come on man, just everything.
It's Jamie, Mike Controller, listening.
It was almost like fuck the world, like the corporations don't want to let us in, and I was just like, let me just get me and my mates and just make some music and just put it out and just see what happens.
It was so different to anyone else's music at the time. You just had no limits, had no boundaries.
I didn't realise it in the moment. That record kicked the door down and made people pay attention.
It was a completely new audience.
This is independence.
This is the next step. We have to be making our own music.
That's something that is so close to us, and we can do the same thing.
Wanna make money like a poor broke ass. Girl, when they say never cruise hope last. Swear they would use footprint shoulders.
The DIY mentality of the artist today, I think it was learned from what we've done. We created a blueprint for them.
We pushed it through and we proved that it can work, and it not only can work in London, it can work in any city.
Taking it to an international level. Grime is the punk of this generation.
Look at the charts and see like what we're doing. We're up there with any other genre.
And that's why grime is real, and that's why it can last forever if we really want it to.
Sunny yesterday, man had fucking flip-flops on and shit. My man's got big trench jackets on. Welcome to London, innit?
Ha ha! Yeah! It's the Bizzle! Yeah, leave for the Bizzle, yeah, more fire cruzzle, yeah, P45, yeah, Banji, yo.
Back then, you know what? It almost felt like we was kind of being alienated. My reaction to that was, well, fuck that. I'm gonna start my own label and I'm gonna make the music I wanna make. And I'm just gonna try and find as much ways as possible to promote the music. Pirate Radio was really my way of focusing on how to get the music out there. YouTube wasn't a factor at the time. Put out a few kind of white labels, and then came across the big one, which was POW.
Good afternoon, Lethal Bizzle Records Studio, speaking, how can I help?
Did a video, which I paid for myself. And I think that's when everything changed.
Pow! Yeah, I'm lead for the beat. Pow! If you don't know about me, pow! Better ask someone quickly, cause pow! Yeah, I'm pow! You know?
What POW stands for now, I didn't realise it in the moment. It was almost like fuck the world, like the corporations don't want to let us in. That record kicked the door down and made people pay attention.
Mind your business and I hate that like shutters. When I hear with paintings all on white and the thing that's butters. I really said down wavy, man, a man move through ringside brothers.
Radar Radio is here because of the lack of youth centres in London. So for a place for the youth to come and sort of practice, whether you're a DJ or an MC. We definitely take influence on sort of stations like Rinse, Deja Vu, Delight FM. If there was no stations like that, we wouldn't be here. Even though it's not illegal, we do try to bring that pirate culture. Find a lot of the raw old school energy. Loads of MCs are there and you just want to know what's going to happen next. Pirate Radio is what sort of birthed grime. There's been so many legendary moments happen on radio, it's mad. Eskimo, Wiley, people was familiar with that tune was getting battered on every single underground station. That's why radio is so important, because it's a place for people to hear what is going on. It's quite an exciting place at the moment. Hungry DJs, hungry MCs coming through, and we're seeing something very special now. We're definitely going to see some of these young MCs and DJs go to the top.
One of the youngest crews in the industry. We just try to grind, you get me, to get to the top.
Want some respect, you get me? Some respect from all the big boys in the game.
Respect, yeah. It's all about worldwide. Shutting records worldwide so we can get in the P's still, you get me?
This was around the time you've got the Pay As You Goes, and I was like, this is the next step. We have to be making our own music. So I just went to my mum and I said, I need these music programs.
I just saw Ecstasy. He was like, yo, like, I've got this CD, you lot go and copy it. I was like, what is it? He goes, it's a music program, Fruity Loops. I think all of us in our own parents' houses were practicing and learning how to make beats.
It was just fun. I was just making beats for fun.
As the scene was growing, everything was brand new, and I'm watching what's going on, and I'm thinking, you know what, something's happening here.
We had the bars, we had kind of the stage presence and the training for radio, we were doing sets. The next thing was to actually make money from what we were making and what we were doing.
Hey, this one's called Extra, produced by my man here. You know what's good? Hey, Ross good. Listen up. Yo, now.
So we used to speak to a couple of the older artists, like, you have to bring it out on white label. So we used to go to Music Castle, JTS in Hackney, Music House in North London, and actually pay to get these tablets made.
Our avenue for people to know that our music was out was through pirate radio. It was just like getting yourself heard. It was like people that we knew, like Wiley and stuff that are a bit older than us, were like, wow, that's something that is so close to us and we can do the same thing. So it was just such an influence in our lives.
Yeah, I will find you. So far, somebody's like, bro, but up in a tinted car, it strands.
Lord of the Mics was probably one of the most influential products to come out of the grime scene.
Round one. Fight.
During 2002, people were hearing music on the radio, through tape packs, through CDs. That was the only way you could really get the music. This was a time before YouTube, before Facebook. There's no way for the youth to see the artists that they liked.
It's time to see who's alive, who's true. You're going like a top dog, so why you acting like Scooby-Doo?
So we picked up a camera and started filming these artists. I went around to their areas, interviewing them about what they're doing, the music they're putting out, just trying to give them a promotional tool to promote the music that we were distributing for them.
Then people just start coming in bit by bit in it.
This was the first one. We then upgraded a little bit later to something a bit more industry standard at the time. But this captured some great moments on it, This captured the Skepta and Devilman clash.
Devilman ain't on my level, man. After I'm a Devilman, put him with the other 6, that's 7, man.
Kano.
Been around since Master System. Been around the block, avoided prison. Been around Glocks, cops and robbers.
DWE. Jammer. And Lethal B, we took them to Germany.
In Germany right about now. I was just rolling, you get me?
At the time, there was no distribution network. So we decided, we need to find out where all these shops are. Jammer was working for a distribution company at the time, so we just kind of borrowed their database. So we've got a shop here in Bristol, Leicestershire. Tools going everywhere. There's a London shop there, Street Vibes. The vinyl shop started to die out, the independent record shop started to die out. That was kind of like a big down point for us because that's what our whole thing was based on. We wasn't ready for that transition to the internet. We was always used to having a product and selling. We didn't want to give our product to YouTube to put up for free. So we thought, have a little break, have a little rest. We went away for a little while. Then we came back with Lord of the Mics 3, and that kind of brought that whole energy back. Stormzy is just an embodiment of what the original grime artist was. These new artists, they grew up on our DVDs, they grew up on the music that the guys were playing and making at the time, so they was influenced by that. Everything gets recycled, sounds, dress sense, it all gets recycled, all gets brought back, and that's what's happened with the grime scene.
I swear down, after today, I'm going to make sure I learn this because I can't have everyone knowing my melody and I can't even play it no more. That's what happens when you make things at 3 in the morning. I remember I just sat there and I thought about life, I thought about everything good and bad that usually goes on within my day. And that was the result of it. That melody that comes in was the result of it.
Every track that we used to get, we used to come together and say, okay, we're gonna vocal this one, vocal that one, but no one wanted to put nothing on it because we just knew it was that special. And we used to just go to radio and say, listen to this, and just play the track.
It was a stigma for me. Some people are playing it, but no one wants to touch it. So I was thinking, all right, it's not good enough.
It's an amazing that Stormzy actually done that and just took it around the world so everyone can hear how amazing X's track is.
Me and Dizzy Rascal back in the day used to always say, just need to be heard, getting people to hear the music. That was our biggest fault. Now, you just gotta pick up your iPhone and you find like 5-6 different apps. You could use all these different platforms to engage with your audience and get your product out there. My vocabulary and how it's all kind of catched on literally was just a thing between me and my pals.
Leave it!
When I started using it on social media, the fans started being intrigued, like, what does that mean? What does dench mean? Like, 2 posters, 2 billboards. What does that mean? Don't know. The fans were like, you should do like t-shirts with all your slogans on them. So literally I just pressed up like a few hundred t-shirts with just dench on them, like, and they just sold out. Get the new dench t-shirts for you! We just kind of grew with the brand, so however big it got, we applied more money to it, applied more pressure to it, and we just kept growing it. And we're like 4 years in now. Yeah, we're still going, man. Obviously. It's the culture that's important. People from different walks of life who may not necessarily be into grime, but you might like my clothing, or you might think I'm funny.
Carried on when I got told stop dreaming, and now it is underdog season and went from city to city, from town to town. I'm a local lad, I was raised in a manor.
What do I do all day? I go to work. I work 9 to 5 like everyone else. I live 2 days in 1 day, that's what I do. So when I go to work, I'm Clark Kent, and when I leave, I'm Superman. 10 years ago, it was a lot harder for you to get a tune, go and press it, and then get it heard by DJs, because if you weren't in the circle, you weren't in the know. Nowadays, it's easy. I can do a tune right now, slap it on my SoundCloud, and everyone has it.
I never saw none of this coming. Let me press rewind and go back 3 years. I was on my arse, never had nothing.
Not so long ago, it was probably the case that as an artist, you would think, if I need to be big in the music industry, like I need to have a deal, I need to get signed, and that's due to probably like lack of knowledge. All you need to do is just look at everything that's going on, and you'll see patterns and formulas, and you can just apply them to what you're doing and just build your own formula.
But it weren't frequent. Go nowhere, I didn't set, but I weren't decent. Was a late shift, but I weren't spitting, I was battling my demons. Hating myself, life weren't going nowhere. Underachieving, I don't want to be this.
I know MCs who have their own cameramen. They have their whole ecosystem that they've built for themselves. You know, I've done all this stuff, I'm actually running a business. I'm doing all the marketing bits, I'm recording the music, I'm getting it mixed down, promoting my own stuff, I'm networking, and then I'm having to handle funds. It's crazy.
If a label can bring me something I cannot do myself, I'll consider it. But anything I feel like is within my potential, I'm not gonna give them the opportunity to just cash in on me, because I don't need to. AJ from the name's never been a follower, young techie, and I'm in the field like on the mark, and I'm gonna break through the scene like Ottawa. I'm playing things I don't wanna save like Hugo. When I first started writing bars, I was like 6. I used to get babysat by my godbrothers. I used to go to their house and I'll go in the bedroom. I used to just sit around and just observe what they're doing. They used to be writing bars and spitting bars. Then I used to go home on a sly and just write my own bars. And one time I just come around and they were spraying, I was like, yeah, let me jump in. And they were like, what? Yes, A lot of people think that it's easy to just jump on a mic, but it's definitely not that at all.
Check.
Different people writing different sets of bars. I was taught to write in 8s and 16s. Sometimes I write in 24s. 24 would be like a verse for an EP.
I'm gorgeous, could be the shamps, but her body looks flawless. So I had to come and say hi like my chorus. I ain't Aubrey, but my line blings, and I got teeth you could call man a light Skinosaurus.
Grime is obviously 140 BPM in general. Or in a corner, Dizzy Rascal, we had tons of different variations of BPMs. It can be slower or faster as long as it sounds like grime. The instrumental defines what type of lyrics you're going to put on it. If it's a soft instrumental, you're going to put some like lyrics about girls or something.
I'm bored of you now in a big brethren scoping. Bad gal like Riri, but she want a rude boy, yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Like an orchestra instrumental, talk about life.
Look, I grab the mic and I mash up the decks. You're on Facebook poking your ex. I don't really care about fame, I'm nice. I just want to walk in room for my creps.
If it's an aggressive 808s, we'll just talk about, I don't know, man, bitches and alcohol and shit.
BQ's talk about smoke. She up patting up man's wifey. Yeah, couldn't give a fuck, she was scratching me up. I could tell that she liked me.
Whatever the weather, innit?
Yeah.
Let's pretend you're on the left wing.
Yeah.
You can point out certain things that grime MCs do that other people don't do. So going to radio, wearing tracksuits, having a pouch, the way you talk, the slang you use, the way you move to girls, you know, chicken and chips, come on man, just everything. Everyone like, appreciates a bit of nostalgia, but not too much. I think you shouldn't base everything on nostalgia, because otherwise it feels like grime is just a piece of nostalgia and it's not. So you need to show people like there's new stuff. That wasn't my idea, that was Dave's idea. He liked the beat, Rapid's Pied Piper beat. His brethren, 169, remade the beat. So yeah man, just a little blast from the past. Funky House is a perfect example of a genre that has like been popping and then it just kind of like fizzles out. Grime, it came about, it was popping, it lost some weight, it came back up, but now this time when it come back up, like it's been up for ages, so I don't think it's going anywhere. It takes people like Stormzy, a Novelist and Skepta, and even like Drake and them man to keep it in front of people, because when it's always in front of you, it's just there, and if it's in front of you enough, it's just gonna stick.
Up, down, left, right, straight to a bang in the teeth.
That's it.
America's like grime, man. They're not just like following it because Drake said it's cool, like they're actually locked in. I've been like all over the world recently, and everywhere I go, there is a reception for grime. Like I went to Portugal, everyone knew my lyrics. They couldn't communicate with me, they didn't speak English, but they knew my lyrics, which means a lot to me.
Put a lot of work in, man.
Wanna go eat?
Eskimo Dance is like the mother of grime events. It's basically MCs all on stage together, spitting on instrumentals. It's the only authentic grime event out there. Eskimo Dance started in a small club in Watford, only 800 people. It grew to SE1, which was 2,500 people. At the time, the demographics of people that went out didn't really behave themselves. Bringing it back, the clubs were skeptical, police didn't want it to happen, even some promoters were like, whoa, is this really going to work? But we pushed it through and we proved that it can work, and it not only could work in London, it can work in any city in this country. It was a completely new audience. The kids don't want to go out and have a fight, the kids want to come out and stand at the front and put their hands up in the air, gun fingers, and shout bars. Eskimo Dance is very, very independent. We hire the club, we do the production, we hire the artists, we do everything from start to finish. And that's why grime is real, and that's why it can last forever if we really want it to.
I'm seeing guys repping grime to the fullest, taking it to an international level. So it's crazy, man. It's speaking volumes right now. Grime's the hot word.
A lot of artists now, they're going and trying to keep independent. They don't want to sign over their publishing, sign over all their tracks to a major.
DIY, man, all the way. DIY, that's just good. Yeah.
The proof's in the pudding. You've already just got to like, you know, just go online and look at people's stats and, you know, look at the charts and see like what we're doing. We're up there with any other genre in this country in terms of selling records, in terms of YouTube views, in terms of Instagram followers or whatever the status may be. Like, we're right up there or beyond.
Just break the rules. Just break every single rule and just make what you want to just suit yourself. That's when you become great, I believe.
The days will be massive. We got all the pirate radio stations. We got our families, and that's about it.
AJT won't let a thing slide. Cruising your block, bare things in the ride. Your man them weren't prepared for the war. Guys, watch when I send to the sky. Last Japan, he's that guy. Man don't float on the rhythm I fly. Dead MCs weren't prepared for the dub plate rise. Watch when the sky.